I'm not exactly where I want to be yet, but I'm making progress and I'm proud of myself.
I had to freaking play Tetris just to cross the street.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the vlog. Today is Monday, January 31st. So today actually makes 2 years since my grandmother on my dad's side passed away. I don't know if I really explained the whole story to y'all, but I know I've for sure like mentioned it before. I literally have a whole other like grief vlog type of thing. So I'll put it up here if y'all want to watch that too. But anywho, so yeah, today is January 31st. Today is actually my grandmother's birthday as well. She passed away on her birthday. The things that happened in my family. Anywho, and this bag right here, it's literally so cute. Yeah, that was like retail therapy yesterday. It was literally $10.89. I got it on sale. Thank you very much. But it made me feel better, so it was worth it. But yeah, so I've just been like kind to myself this like weekend and this past week. I actually took the day off from work today. Today is Monday, and typically I would be working from home right now, but I actually took the day off of work because I knew I would just be like no good at work today, honestly. So I'm like, you know what? No, I ain't doing it today. And tomorrow I'm actually going into the office, which I'm actually excited about because it'll give me like a different level of focus, and it'll just be good to kind of like get out of my routine and, you know, just get my mind off of things, you know? So yeah, today what we're doing, and this is actually basically similar to what I did last year. So I actually have a Party City balloon order that I placed. It actually should be ready now. It's like about 1 o'clock. And it said it'll be ready by 1, so I'm gonna go pick that up. Before I pick that up though, I'm gonna go grab some flowers to bring to my grandmother's gravesite in addition to the balloons. So I'm gonna do that, go to her gravesite, reflect. I've kind of been like reflecting over like the last, you know, couple of days. I'm always reflecting, but especially, you know, the last couple of days with being like this time of year and everything. And if you don't know, so 2 years ago, like my world was really rocked. So my grandmother passed away, came back here to New York. I was in Chicago. I was living in Chicago, working as a financial analyst at the time. So yeah, I was in Chicago working as a financial analyst at the time. And I came back here for the funeral. Of course, I was here I took 2 weeks off. I was here for like a week and a half. And then when I got back, you know, to my apartment, I remember celebrating Valentine's Day. I did something like a cute little, I actually have some pictures of this, so I'll put it here. I did like a cute little thing for myself at home for Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. If you don't know, now you know. And then I had to start back at work. And starting back at work, I was starting in a new role because the program I was in, it was like every 6 months you do a new role within finance. But those within finance, it's literally like a whole different job. It's like applying for a different job and basically doing a whole different job with a whole different team, everything. And honestly, like with that and like grief and like being in the city by myself, it was too much. The reason I say this, it's not for sympathy. I don't need it. You know, it's not for sympathy. It's so that someone knows that there's something on the other side of like the worst times of your life. Like you can survive. Like 2 years later, I'm still here, you know? So that's the reason, like to help someone else and to make someone else feel seen. That's the reason for this whole channel. But anywho, parents. So I called my parents and they were like, listen, it's more important for you to be here. You're more important than a job. You can get another job. We can't get another you. So bring your tail back home and, you know, we'll figure it out from there. So literally then COVID happened. And I was already working from home 99.9% of the time at that point, because it was just, I was already like dealing with depression. You know, we all know I deal with seasonal depression. I was in a new city. I was in a job I didn't like. Y'all know how it goes. So I was already working from home because thankfully my manager like gave me that flexibility because she wasn't in the office either. She was remote as well. And I didn't feel like being around a lot of people. No. So yeah, it was tough, and that was 2 years ago. And what started all of that was my grandmother passing away, and then a couple months after that, on April 18th, my maternal grandmother passed away. And just FYI, those are the only grandparents I ever knew. My other grandfather passed away when my mom was a kid, so that was, you know, forever ago. And then my paternal grandfather, he did not leave the best legacy. And I'll just leave it at that. And he passed away before I could even meet him. So those are the only grandparents I knew. So losing both of them in such a close span of time was tough. In addition to that really being like the only that was like my first real brush with grief. I had been to a lot of funerals because I grew up in a big church. Kind of going to a lot of funerals, baby showers, and weddings is just kind of part of going to a big growing up in a big church. But dealing with it yourself, it hits different, and it totally hit different for me. And at the time, I really did not know how to process my emotions. Even before my grandmother passed away, I was always a person that tucked my emotions away, did not like to express them, wasn't that chick. Now I'm very emotional. I'm actually very sensitive now. And all of that started when my grandmother passed away. It's funny. And I remember being so sad about Kobe passing away. This was 2020. This was in 2020. I remember being so sad about Kobe passing away. And I'm not even like the biggest basketball. I mean, I like basketball, it's cool, whatever. But like, I'm not like a basketball stan by any means. But I remember just being so sad about Kobe passing away. I would just be walking around, like going to work or whatever, like, damn, like Kobe really passed away. Like, I was really sad about that. And then this happened. So that when people were posting about the 2-year anniversary of Kobe's passing, that kind of like started to trigger those same feelings. Because I know what came after all of that. It was like an avalanche that felt like it was never ending. And honestly, when I got back to my parents, I gave myself a year. I was like, in a year, you're going to get out of here. You're going to be out of here. You're going to get yourself together. You're going to get a job. You're going to figure it out. And 2 years later, still here. But I will say, honestly, I'm in a much better place by the grace of God. I'm working a job that I enjoy with a company that values me. With a company that values me, which is really important. I'm very thankful for that. It's a cool job that I like, that with a company that values me. I don't get stress headaches. I really don't get stress headaches anymore from my job. And what else? I'm actually, again, just like if you watched my last video, you know that I am actually apartment hunting. So I'm not out of my parents' house yet, which is kind of not really in my control because I'm literally just still looking and I just haven't found the right one yet. Prayerfully, I will soon. But again, like 2 years ago, I was in a very different place. So I'm very thankful to be where I am now. Are there some things that I wish, happened by now? And the really only thing that I really wish had happened by now is that I would have moved out by now. But again, it's not like I can't move out. It's just I haven't found the right place. So, but again, that's a much better place than I was a year ago and 2 years ago. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm very actually glad I made the move back to New York. Again, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I know like living in Brooklyn is not the end for me, but having that like support is, and I've been chatting for a while, but I feel like this concept is important and somebody needs to hear this. But like having that support, because I have that support in Chicago, because again, there's phones, there's FaceTime, but it's different when you're able to see someone in person and like give them a hug, So actually, after I come back from the cemetery, I'm going to go to IHOP with my good sis, Danny. And typically on this day for the last few years, I've usually been by myself. Of course, I was on my own in Chicago when I found out because, I lived there by myself, without really any like family or friends. And then last year, I think I just kind of wanted to spend that day by myself. But this year I'm actually going to be with my sis Danny. So I'm looking forward to that. So today's going to be a good day. I feel much better on this day this year than I did last year. And that's because I think in the last 365 days, I've definitely like processed my emotions more. So yeah, we're making progress, y'all. I'm not exactly where I want to be yet, but I'm making progress and I'm proud of myself. I am proud of myself. I choose every day to wake up and be a person and show up for myself. And that's a big thing because for a time, I felt like I couldn't even do that. Like, yeah, let's go. We're going to pick up, keep forgetting about the flowers. So we're going to pick up the flowers first, then the balloons. I actually have a balloon weight. I have a bunch of these. I could only find one though, but yeah, we got a balloon weight, so I don't need to buy one. Yeah, let's go.
I should have recorded for y'all. I had to freaking play Tetris just to cross the street. And I missed a good 3 lights. Just trying to find a place where I could walk onto the sidewalk and not have to step into a mountain of snow. I definitely have my snow boots on, but I don't want to step into no mountain of snow. Anywho, we still thankful because it's really not that cold. I don't even have gloves on, so not that cold. But yeah, still on the way to get flowers. This was a lot easier when I was doing it in the summer because it's the snow. doesn't make it fun to walk around, but it's okay. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'll check in with y'all when what am I saying? I'll check in with y'all when I get into the grocery store for the flowers. I think these are the winners. My grandmother loved purple. And this is the one with the most purple. It's really pretty. Love it. All right, that was quick. Hey y'all, I'm at the cemetery. I got a lot in my hands, but I almost left my phone in the Uber. Thank God. I looked for it. But yeah, I almost left it in the Uber, child. That would have been a mess. Oh Lord, now my boot is starting to come loose. So it's a lot going on. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, now my boots are untying. There's a lot going on. And this is gonna sound creepy, but the cemetery actually looks a little cute in the snow. But it's probably gonna be hard for me to find her headstone. I think I wrote down where she's at, but it might be hard for me to find it because her headstone is flat. It's flat, and you know, snow on top of it. You know how that goes. So yeah, good job. I am like a mess. I need to tie my shoe. It's a lot going on, but y'all look. It's sad, but the snow is pretty at least. So yeah, y'all. I'll catch up with y'all. And if people here are so nice, they're gonna clear a path to me. They helped me find my grandmother because of course the snow. They're gonna clear a path for me to get to her gravesite. Very, very nice. And they've been really great from jump, so shout out to them. Very sweet of them. So as y'all can tell, doing these videos is like really therapeutic for me. I brought y'all to the cemetery maybe like once or twice before. But yeah, I think for me, like, I'm Haitian. Well, clearly y'all know that. I'm Haitian, and Haitians typically don't like visit grave sites. It's like they bury the person and then that's it. But for me, I feel like, you know, like I come out here and like I see people's headstones with flowers, and you know, some people have like bottles or whatever, like, you know, by their headstones. And to me it's like, wow, like someone still cares about that person. Not that if you don't have that by your headstone you don't, but for me it makes me feel good, like, you know, even after she's left the earth, we're still thinking about her. And for me, that's what that represents. Of course we're still thinking about her whether or not there are flowers there, but for me, that's, you know, my thing. For other reasons as well, I do feel a little guilty. I feel like I could have been a better granddaughter. And again, not doing this for sympathy, but I know someone out there can relate. But yeah, I feel like I could have been a better granddaughter. So I'm like, you know what, even after your life, I can still like show that I care. That's why I like to come to the gravesite. For some reason, it brings me peace coming here. Yeah, I play like this one song, this one like Creole worship song that I remember was played like on a loop during her viewing at her funeral, and like during like the slideshow and everything. So yeah, it just brings me peace. I don't know what it is, but it just brings me peace. And like the people here at the cemetery, like low key for a bit, I was thinking of going into like the funeral and death industry. That sounds really morbid, but I was kind of thinking of it because like you really play a big part in someone's life when you know, take care of their loved one's final arrangements, you know. So for a bit I was actually considering that. I don't know that I would do it, but you know, never say never. But the people at the cemetery were super nice. They cleared a whole path for me. It's so much snow, y'all. This is at least like, look, so much snow. But they cleared up, they had their big truck out here. I'm glad I came out here while they were still here, like while the workers are still here, because at some point the workers leave while the cemetery is still open for visitation. So I'm glad I came at this time. It was literally the perfect time. But yeah, I miss my girl, but you know, I'm glad I got to visit her on her birthday. She looks so cute. Don't mind her. We got our normal splash berry drinks, and Danny's literally so sweet. She be acting like she's mean, but she's not. I don't know why she tries to put on that act. Anywho, she got me cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. She went all the way to Queens to make me happy. She put on herself. And what's the problem? Anywho, we just gonna eat and chill in IHOP. I'm really tired, but probably because I'm hungry. Look at this girl eating Cheesecake Factory at IHOP. I cannot. Let's see the taste test. How's the taste? Surprisingly good. Surprisingly good. Yo, when you come to IHOP, this splashberry joint will change your life. Anywho, I will check in with y'all. I'll check in with y'all whenever. Anywho, we got our bowls. She got mozzarella sticks. Slit, y'all. God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Matthew 5, verse 4. Love you, Gumma. Happy birthday.